Good evening, everybody. Today is the day 16 of 21 days, not far to go. I appreciate everybody's feedback from these videos that I've been doing. I really appreciate the feedback that I get from how you're all feeling a lot better emotionally, that you're feeling more energetic, and that you're noticing a lot of physical discomforts disappearing. That is my main intention for these videos. I really, really do appreciate it, because I would like you to experience your experiences in a more of an ease and flow. That is why I'm doing this, because I've benefited from it, and it just blew my mind how it is not, widely spread. Why is this information not widely spread? So, there's a lot of people joining today. Hello, good evening. Sorry I'm late today. I had to go to the dentist. Yes, and I am very tanned. Spent the morning at the beach. Hello, Vanessa. Hi, Roz. Nice to have you online. Facebook Lives always bring that different kind of energy. It gives me a way of connecting with the people that are online live. But I also get to see a lot of people watching the replays on Facebook. And just in case you don't know, there's also the replays on YouTube if you don't happen to find it in your feed. Anyway, today I'd really like to talk about the cleansing process of the breathing. Your breathing is very, very important to, as we said at the beginning, its main purpose, it's the chief cleansing machine of your body. And if you're not breathing correctly, you're going to get full of toxins, and it is the first thing that happens is that your body starts to decline. And that is very important from a physical perspective, that you understand that that is the only cleansing mechanism that you have available. All right. So if you want a healthy body, you want a fit body, you don't want to be interacting too often with doctors and medicines and so on, and diets, because as we said, the only way to keep your body fit and healthy is to breathe deeply on a consistent basis. And especially for those that feel they are overweight, the only reason why you're overweight is because those toxins are not being released. Release those toxins and you have solved so many problems. You have solved feeling overweight, you have solved feeling bloated, feeling heavy, feeling lethargic. There's just so much that you benefit physically. But this last week of videos, we have gone extensively into how you benefit physically. And I hope you've really resonated with it and it's digested. And if it's the only reason that you want to do it for is to lose weight, that's fine. I really don't mind anything that will benefit you, because even when you do lose weight, you're feeling more light, you're feeling lighthearted, you're feeling good, you're feeling on top of the world, you're feeling powerful. So that's if that's the only reason, fine. But you will have other side effects, positive side effects, benefits that maybe you weren't expecting. All right. But at least you're focused. You're doing it with a goal in mind. But this last week, I'd really like to expand on the idea of how liberating you will find by deep breathing. You'll come to expect a sort of emptying out of the past emotional triggers that are trapped inside your body. And I've experienced quite a few. When you actually contemplate the fact that every experience you have, and you have infinite amounts of different experiences in every moment of your day. So just try and imagine how many hours a day you are up and about, whether you're actually interacting with people or just around with yourself alone. If you're at school, if you're at work, whether you're around other people, not around other people, you are having an experience. An experience is basically life itself. Everything you do, you have an experience. And with an experience, the body feels an emotion. Now, you can either go through experiencing life by already preparing yourself in the sense that you are the one giving yourself oxygen, creating that energy, and raising that vibration. So when you do walk in to an experience, you now have the upper hand. You have now raised your vibration to such a degree that whatever is about to be presented to you, you will now have that high perspective. You will either feel utter appreciation for what is happening, you'll feel a great sense of joy for what is happening. They will be high frequencies. You will, if something is happening, you will appreciate the lesson, you will appreciate the circumstances that have offered you a higher perspective, a deeper meaning, another point of view. You will be embracing life. That is called creating. Whereas if you have trapped emotions inside of you and you're not breathing, they are not moving, and you say, hang on, if I start breathing, these emotions will start rising. I can actually see them and feel them. Yes. But the thing is, if you're not acknowledging them or recognizing these emotions, you're ignoring them, not wanting to face them, pushing them away, trying to control the circumstances. They just go back down. It's energy that gets suppressed again because you are the missing factor. So by breathing and acknowledging, being there, actually wanting to feel it so that it can be breathed out with every exhale, even though you're exhaling out, but your mind is saying, I'm not agreeing with this. I do not want to ever experience this before. What you're actually doing is say, I want to recreate circumstances and events that don't make me feel that pain. By not feeling it, they remain trapped. Now, whatever your past is, it belongs in the past because it is not happening here. But it will keep on happening here if you keep feeling it and wanting to suffocate it. If your mind is focused on suppressing it, if your mind is focused on suppressing it, your mind is not focused on what it is that you'd like to experience today. So the importance, I really, really want you to understand this. It is important that you empty yourself out. All right. Now, I've written some notes that I sincerely think that you'll benefit just by reading it maybe a couple of times during the week until you really get the sense of it, because I've put an exercise at the end there for you. So let me just give you some reminders. Okay, you are the only one that has experiences. Okay, what do I mean by that? You are the only one that has experiences. Let me go back. So our experiences from the past have been experienced by the body, and the mind has labeled them, because the only thing that can be experienced is yourself, and your body registers them. All right, your mind cannot experience anything. It can only label things, pigeonhole them, good or bad, and conceptualize them. All right. So the mind does not experience anything. It only describes the experience. Okay. Who actually has the experience? You are the only one that has the experience. But because we get confused and we misidentify ourselves with our minds, we seem to create the same experiences trying to avoid activating that blocked energy. That's what I said. If you don't have blocked energy inside your body, what happens? You are now more present to the present moment. And how are you more present to the present moment? If you've been breathing consistently, you have a very, very high frequency vibration of energy. So when you bring yourself to the present moment with those high frequencies and you're emptied out from the past emotions, you're emptied out from past energy trapped. There's nothing there that gets trapped, all right? So you've emptied them out, and now you bring yourself into the present moment at a high frequency. You're bound to have a completely different personal reality, meaning you are now a different personality. Let me give you an example. My whole life, for some reason, back in the day, I was petrified of insects. Born in Africa, and I'm petrified of insects. Anything tiny that can stink, that can burn, and that can make me feel any kind of discomfort, no. All right. So this has been my personality. Who am I? I'm one afraid of insects. I do not like bees. I do not like spiders. I do not anything that does creepy crawly kind of things. All right. That's just who I am. That's who I said I am. Afraid of insects, afraid of being hurt, afraid of being stung, afraid of something about them. And everyone around me would say, yeah, I agree with you. Or those that say, I don't agree with you. I'm not afraid of them. And then they feel better about themselves because I do and they don't. Fine. What's been happening lately? I don't recognize my old personal self. That old personality no longer exists because all of a sudden it's not there. I went swimming the other day and I found this bee that was drowning in the water. And I took my goggles off and I presented it to them. And I see this little bee trying to get some relief. And he climbed onto my goggles and stayed there. He was soaking wet. And I brought him out onto my towel and I put him down there. I was not afraid of him at all. Okay. I put him down there and I went back to swim. And when I came back, he was gone. Obviously, he dried off and he flew away. I was really, really pleased about it. But you won't believe it afterwards. This bee, while I'm busy getting up to go away, to leave the beach, started flying around my hand. And I left my hand there. And it landed on my hand. And for some reason, I had this intuition it was the same bee. But the fact is that I let my hand be there and I was not afraid of him. What happened? I must have released those old emotions somewhere. And now, because I've released those old emotions, I'm having a different reality. I'm having a different personal experience of this present moment with that bee. It wasn't a reaction, oh, a bee, like I used to do, or run away and do my little drama queen thing. No, there was calmness, there was peace, there was love for this insect that I've never experienced before. That's just a small example, but if you start to realize that you're now reacting to circumstances and events differently from before, all right, you're actually creating a completely different experience for yourself. And this is what I'd like you to benefit. I'd like you to really, really get this so you can become aware of what it is that you're actually doing. Because if your awareness is not there with the emotion, then it doesn't go anywhere. You need to be there with it. So it is important that you understand what is an emotion. An emotion is simply energy. And for those that really don't grasp the concept of energy from an actual resonance instead of a mind thing, the mind will say, oh, energy, I've seen it in a film somewhere. It must be some sort of science fiction. Energy is basically who you are, because as we said, with the structuring, the processing of oxygen, you create energy for every single organ to function and for that synchronicity and that wisdom to actually be there. So don't take energy lightly, all right? You are all of it. You are energy itself, vibrating at a frequency. Go back to that video, maybe listen to it again, but really understand that energy that flows creates energy that's trapped. You end up recreating or controlling your circumstances. You do not live a fulfilling life. It is important that you understand this concept, all right? We do not want to control life, because if you try and control every circumstance and event and situation in your life, you're now reacting to the past. What you want to do is really create. You want to create new experiences. You want to realize my personal reality is very different to what it was yesterday. I wonder what my personal reality is going to be like tomorrow. Hence, my personality keeps changing. What does that mean? You keep expanding. You keep becoming more and more and more. You are never the same person as before. It's much more exciting, much more liberating, much more empowering. You're always more surprised and excited and delighted about life. Because if you already know what's going to happen because you keep recreating your past into your future, it becomes a bit more blah. My life's blah. How are you? I'm okay. I'm excited. Guess what I felt today? Guess what I felt today? Guess what I felt today? All right. You bring in that higher frequency into your present moment for everyone to share. That's how we connect. A bit like the tuning forks. If you're excited, then you've got that vibration of excitement and love and joy to share with everyone else. If you just bring blah to the table, then blah will be the vibration that you're sharing with everyone else. All right. It is important. Do you want to be a creator? You need to empty yourself out from trapped emotions. Those trapped energies inside your body are coming up for a reason, so you can let them go. Otherwise, they wouldn't come up. If you're breathing, it's going to happen. And if you don't breathe, you're going to be in constant state of stress and anxiety, flight or fight. Flight or fight. Remember that sympathetic nervous system? Very, very important. It will shape your experience. It will shape your personality. It will shape your personal reality. Why do you want your present personal reality to be shaped by trapped energies from the past? Okay, it's really, really important that we understand that. So let me ask you this question. We then begin to control our actions, wanting to avoid feelings that are trapped in our emotions. I already said that. But so if those emotions were to be released, would you still be wanting to control your outcomes, or would your experience be more spontaneous? Think about it. If they were to be released, would there really be that desire? Because if you've released them, now the mind has no energy to go to and say, hey, what about that? No, it's been released. You've acknowledged the release because you breathed it out. You were there with it. So now, would you still be trying to control outcomes? Or would your reality be more, I'm going to be spontaneous. I'm going to be authentic. Now, I know you can't really answer that question now. You really have to experience it for yourself. Experience what it feels like to release trapped energies, to be consciously aware that you have released them by breathing. When they rise, today we'll do the exercise together. And then answer that question. Surprise and delight yourself. Oh my goodness, I've always been afraid of insects. Look at me now. My hand's out and the bee's on my hand. You experience oneness with whatever it is that's happening. Try it. Do not be afraid of emotions. They are simply energy that are trapped. Let them go. Be nice. Be kind to yourself. Okay? Breathing is very important for physical benefits. Breathing is essential for your emotional benefit, so you can have different experiences. I want you to embrace and enjoy everything at that high frequency. By keeping those emotions trapped in your body, you're keeping yourself bloated down, energetically speaking. Things still won't flow. All right, it is important to release toxins. It's important to release the carbon dioxide. It's important to release energy. Energy comes, energy goes. It must constantly flow. All right? That's why you cannot store oxygen, because it has to create a consistent flow, ease and flow. And you have to be the one allowing it all. All right? So there is no harm releasing your body from these emotions. Actually, it's the contrary. If you don't release them, there's harm. On so many levels. Your mental level, your emotional level, and physically. All right? So do not be afraid when emotions come up. All right? So there is no harm releasing your body from these emotions. They change your personal reality, allowing you to experience different scenarios with a different emotion. Really important. So your body can self-regulate and self-heal. And this I've said and I've repeated over and over again. It self-regulates, self-maintains, and self-cleanses. It self-heals. It does everything by itself. All right? You must be the allowing factor. Without you, it can't be in tune with the natural flow of the wisdom it holds. All right? So you cannot hold on to anything. Do not hold on to the past, is another way of saying it. When you hold on to emotions that you've experienced in your past, you're literally holding on to the past. Why? Because it keeps that frequency there. So if you've experienced some kind of fear of some sort, that energy has a frequency. It stays there. So you're literally dumbing down, you're dimming down, you're polluting clear waters. You're polluting a higher vibration by dimming it down. So even when you do breathe and you get excited, but now you're not releasing these emotions, you're dimming down that high frequency. It has to drop a bit because it's stuck there somewhere. Don't dim yourself down. Be pure, be clear. Get everything out. Just let it go out. Do not be afraid. Any kind of emotion, fear, lack, disempowerment, I'm not worthy. These are all emotions that I really like to talk to you about, at least maybe reserve one of the last 5 days we've got left, because we've made up so many stories about each emotion and it's hard to sort of let go of that definition. But if there's any emotion you'd like to talk to about in particular, please let me know. I'm a fan of all of them, because all of them are love dimmed down by some sort of vibration. So every single emotion is one of the whole that's just been dimmed down a bit from its light. So it's important that you admire and you appreciate all of them. They come, they go, you feel, you experience, you let go. They come, you experience, and then you let go. They come, they experience, you let go. You are the allower. You're the channel. This body is the channel. Everything comes and everything goes. All right? So what you hold on is an idea or an opinion about yourself and how you see life. And everything is held in the body. So everything that you sense about yourself, that you sense about life, your past, everything's been held on in your body with this energy. Wouldn't you like to have a different perspective about yourself? Wouldn't you like to have a different perspective about life? Not in general, in every now and moment. Oh, that surprised and delighted me. That surprised and delighted me. But if you already have an expectation based on the past, you'll wake up tomorrow morning, you won't be excited about anything. It's really important. Your whole outlook, your whole experiencing about the day after, or is got everything to do with how much is still locked and lodged into your body. Now, one other thing that you think, okay, my physical well-being and my emotional well-being, I'm going to separate them. There is no separating the emotional from the physical. And there's a beautiful book I had stumbled across a few years ago when I was diagnosed with something. And I stumbled across this book, and it was a book, I've put it in the notes as well, by Louise Hay, You Can Heal Yourself. So I read this book, very nice book, really easy to read, but at the back of the book, She had a whole list of all physical symptoms, and every single physical symptom, she could connect it to an emotion that's trapped inside your body. And at the time, my symptom was connected to an emotion of anger that I had been holding on since I was a little girl. Anger. I've been holding on to anger. In fact, it would be triggered every now and then. So there was this anger inside of me, which is a very, very low vibration, very, very low energy frequency. And the moment it came up, because I was meditating a lot at that time, the moment it came up, I embraced it. I really, really did embrace it. I was able to suddenly feel a great sense, deep sense of forgiveness all of a sudden. Where did that come from? There was no thought process. It was just a sense of being present with the emotion. All right. So I've recommended that book if anyone would like to know more about the connection between your physical well-being and your emotions. An emotion, if it's not being acknowledged, recognized, become aware of, it just gets bigger and bigger and bigger, in the sense it just gets worse and worse and worse until some part of your body starts to feel the effect of this trapped emotion. So try and feel the sense of being trapped, okay? When something's trapped, it wants to move in some, especially energy, because energies has to move all the time. So when it's trapped, it's sort of, bashing against something because it's trapped, all right? Nothing's been allowed to move. It's bound to hit and hurt something around there, all right? The perfect natural synchronicity and wisdom of the body, the flow, there's something interrupting it. It needs to move. So if that energy, if that emotion is not dislodged, you're bound at some point to feel a physical discomfort. For example, lower back pain. Lower back pain, there's a trapped emotion of some sort of sense of lack, especially lack of money, apparently. Try it out. See, have a look at this book. You can download a PDF. If you don't find the PDF, send me a message. I can send it to you, not a problem. It's available online. Get the PDF version. So just look at the back if you're not interested in reading the whole book, but just out of a matter of curiosity, have a look if you have a physical symptom somewhere and you're not sure about the emotion. You will become aware of it if you carry on breathing. But it is interesting to see how many, I've done this experiment with quite a few people I know, and it's been spot on every single time. So Louise Hay might have had a great intuition there to write this book. So I've put that book in there as well. So change your perspective from seeing your emotions as something you need to recreate or suffocate. You don't need to change it. Change it. So my emotions, it's not something I need to hide from, or I need to recreate happy circumstances in order to feel happiness. It was not your circumstances that made you feel happy. Getting married did not make you feel happy. There was a vibration already inside of you that was so high, and then the event took place. And now the mind is associating the circumstance and the event, that beautiful scenario, with if I do this, I will feel happy. No. It's not the circumstance. It's not setting up in order to feel you feel based on the energy that you have inside of you. All right. So don't try and recreate things in order to feel something, or try and suffocate something in controlling it in order to avoid feeling it. It's got nothing to do with that. You've got to start seeing energy from a different perspective. And emotions are simply energy in motion. Full stop. Energy in motion are emotions. Do not try and figure this out with your mind. Do not try and figure this out with your mind. The mind is the aftermath effect. Your first feeling, and your mind is describing it. All right? Go straight to the source, go straight to the heart. See what is trapped there and breathe it. Let's do the exercise before I ramble on too long today. So, what is the best way to dislodge trapped emotions from your body? All right. Obviously, by deep breathing. You start to deep breathe, okay? But now the expectation is by expecting to feel emotions to rise and being ready to release. So there's this, how can I explain it to you in a way that maybe a good metaphor is, when like you're either going into a situation and you're dreading something, like I really hope that doesn't happen, or you go into the situation saying, bring it on. Bring it on. It's a different approach, isn't it? So when you're doing this exercise while you're deep breathing, do not be afraid of anything that comes up. Like, bring it on. I'm ready here to witness you. I'm ready here to embrace you. I now understand that any emotion that's coming up is simply energy. It will not hurt you. What hurting you is trying to suffocate it. Bring on. What is sadness? Sadness is another version of love that's been diminished. It's been polluted. It's an energy that's been dimmed down. Anxiety, the heart starts pumping. You are observing it. Anxiety is just another version of love. It is love being dimmed down. It is only energy. It's just a be. Let it be there. Just let it be there. And breathe through it. Breathe through it. All right? Being available to receive them in order to release them. Now, being available is different from trying to avoid them. Being available, I'm available. I'm here. I'm here for you. I am here. You be available to receive them in order to release them. I receive, I release. I receive, I release. But without you receiving them, they cannot be released. Can you see this? This is important. Without you receiving them, they cannot be released. So they will always remain stuck. You must be there. All right? Consciously take a deep breath and a long exhale while recognizing the emotion that has surfaced. It's your recognition that makes all the difference. Your conscious recognition. And normally you can find a place in the body where it's actually trapped. You can feel it either in your chest, either in your neck, sometimes in the back of your head, front of your head, sometimes the upper back, lower back, legs, feet, knees, hips. Hips is a big one. Oh, a lot of people get trapped energy in muscles. Muscles is another one. Marie likes to give it a color. I like to see where it is. And so I can actually focus my attention there and breathe. I'm there. I'm there with it. All right. So consciously take a deep breath and a long exhale while I recognize the emotion that has surfaced. The simple act of recognizing them, seeing them, acknowledging them. I see you. I see you. Okay? And breathing in and out. In and out. And you'll have an intuition when it's enough. You will have an intuition. All right? Rest and appreciation of what has been released, as now you have released your body from trapped energy. Energy must never be trapped. It must flow in and out in order to create. I feel utter appreciation. The moment I've actually become aware of something I was unaware of before. I've become aware of something that's always been there, but I was unaware of. I didn't know that I didn't know. I now know that I wasn't aware of it, and I do now. Isn't that the greatest form of expansion? Getting to know more about yourself. You empty yourself out. Now you're a perfect empty vessel for new experiences. And they come, you feel, you experience, and now you let go. And now this will be your natural baseline. Keep breathing. And you'll notice that when you keep breathing and it becomes your baseline, your heart will direct you to breathing instead of going to the mind. Your heart is an intuition that says, breathe. And you'll spend less time in your mind because now you have emptied out all those trapped emotions. Your mind won't be trying to protect you. Avoid doing that. Avoid it. Do you remember last time you've got this trapped in here? You're going to get it blocked. You're going to get it triggered. No, it's not there anymore. So the mind has nothing to protect you from. Now you can have a completely different experience because now you're vibrating with a lot more energy because you've created it through breathing. You've got a lot more oxygen. There's nothing to fear but fear itself. I heard that somewhere. Anyway, loved ones, I hope you've enjoyed today's video. I don't see if I have any questions. Do I have any questions? Oh, there's just too much to read through. All right, guys, if you do have any questions, write them in. If there are any emotions that you not sure about how to react to, or you want to have more, clarity on them, that's fine. We can even talk about it. I'd love to. But really, there's nothing to figure out. Any kind of emotion that arises is because while you're breathing, it's being pushed up. It just needs your acknowledgement, I see you. That's the word I use. You can have your own. The moment you just feel something, an emotion, try and just sit with that. Don't try and reason the emotion away. Oh, if I do that, I don't have to feel that. If I do that, I don't have to feel that. If I convince him not to do that, then I won't feel that. That is reacting to the past. You cannot try and control circumstances and events and people for the rest of your life. It is just too hard and impossible. Okay? So be good to yourselves. Try this exercise. Download the notes. Read them again. And let me know how you feel. This whole week, this 5 days that we've got left, we're going to be talking more about emptying ourselves out through deep breathing. We're going to get more and specific, especially in the emotions of feeling unloved, feeling unworthy, and the feeling of lack, because those are rooted in you from a collective point of view. All right? Those are the ones that have been trapped there because our collective from the past have basically handed it down. And until you don't release them, you will be passing them on to your children and to those around you. We need to take responsibility now and stop the buck here, okay? The buck stops with us now. And this is my intention, that we clear out these trapped emotions of feeling unloved, feeling unworthy, and feeling lack. All right? I love you all very much. Be good to yourselves. See you tomorrow.